This is a recording of Bhakti-Vikas Swami speaking with Caitanyananda Prabhu on the 29th of July 2007 in Sri Dham, Vrindavan. I last saw Caitanyananda Prabhu. When was that in Finland? Which dates was it approximately?
It was 20th of May.
It's approximately 20th of May. So that's just 2 months ago in Finland, and looks like half your body weight is gone. So we can imagine this would be a period of intense realization. Mostly we don't realize. We say that we can all die or are all dying, but most of the time, at least I can speak for myself, we're serving Krishna, but we're always thinking about our bodily comfort and some thought about how we can enjoy this material world, and it's always there, that kind of thought. But in this situation that you're in, it seems like a special mercy from. This is the way devotees see it. I mean, it's for non-devotees, it's just horrific. They're just attached to their body. They spend so much time and trouble in making their bodies look nice, and it's such an important thing for them. You'll see like 60-year-old women whose bodies are not in the slightest bit attractive, but they're still painting their toenails. It's so ridiculous. There's still, as long as the body seems somewhat healthy, then we remain attached to the prospect of enjoying it. But in this situation, for non-devotees, it's just horrific that they can only, their whole being is, they see it as their body, and they're very, very afraid of losing. They feel like the reality, they'll cease to exist. But for a devotee should be transcendental, and when this situation comes and they understand, okay, this is Krishna's mercy, it should give us an opportunity to realize that, which for many of us it's theoretical. We say we're not this body, but at the same time we're trying to enjoy it. So it should be a time of some intense realization. And it seems in your case that from what we can see, the realization is quite apparent. Everyone's saying, I don't want to make you puffed up, but that they're surprised, or they're very happy to observe and amazed that there's no complaint on your side, or no sign of any fear or lamentation, and from the beginning you've just taken it that, all right, this is happening, and the only lamentation that I know you expressed to me is that you would have liked to do more service. So that's all. If this is so. All right, I've given some of my thoughts. Probably devotees have asked you, like, what are your feelings? What are your hopes, your desires, realizations in this condition?
Well, the main realization has been the overcoming the condition and understanding it is dependent of Guru Maharaj's and devotees' mercy. Without that, there would have been no shelter of overcoming this experience. So it comes from support of devotees, basically, which carries one over of these difficult times.
Yeah. It would have been very difficult. Like, that alternative was there to stay in Finland, but it would have been definitely a lot more difficult to be Krishna conscious if you're surrounded, even by well-wishing non-devotee doctors, but they're well-wishing. They don't know what it means. They don't know what's for actual benefit. So They can't help you in the same way that devotees can. But even devotees are saying that they're getting... Well, it's a mutual thing, isn't it, Krishna consciousness? We all help each other, so... Yeah, the devotees are helping you physically and financially and emotionally, spiritually, in so many ways. But devotees are also getting a lot of inspiration by seeing your steadfastness in Krishna consciousness.
That I hope, and my hopes are that I don't cause too much trouble for them, because this will get more difficult eventually.
Yeah.
So I've been praying that it won't get too much of a burden for the devotees who are helping me.
Well, that is life as it's supposed to be lived, that in civilized societies, everyone is giving. And it's just like in Indian culture, you don't, in the West, people get really upset if you don't say thank you every time someone does something. But in Indian culture, you don't say thank you much, because the idea is that anyway, everyone is interacting, it's the duty of everyone to interact, and one should live for others. Etavaj janma safalyang what is it? Dehinamiha dehishu. Then pranar ayatar dhyavacha shreya acharanam sada. It's the duty of every enlightened person to act with mind, body, words, and intelligence for the benefit of others. So that's particularly in Vaishnavism, but in the whole concept of dharma is that we should live for a higher principle, and service for service's sake. Labha, jaya, jayo. You should don't think of acting. Don't think how I will gain, or I may lose, I may win. But we should just act for the sake of dharma. So that's there. So it's like in old age, now you're in old age, even though you're young, but practically you're in old age. It's the body has become old quickly. So people spend their lives serving, and then it's just an accepted thing that the children they're being brought up by the parents, and then they're looked after by others in their old age, and it's an expected thing. So yeah, definitely it's troublesome, but that's there. And one who's served others, and then others serve him. And even when they're serving him, someone who's old, and old people need looking after as much as little children. Often it's like that. So, but at the same time, they're still serving, even when they're being served, because they're giving an opportunity to others. Just like the guru, they can just like this Guru Das, he spends all his day, every day, running around doing things. I never tell him thank you or anything, because the idea is that that's an opportunity for you to make some progress and have some advancement also. You're fortunate. And that concept is there in Indian culture even now among pious people, that to have the opportunity to serve others, especially sadhus, and they consider it's a privilege for them. So you may not want to put others to too much trouble, but it becomes the duty of everyone to do that, and also an opportunity for them. Yeah, he got so much mercy by serving Madhavendra Puri. So that's there. Now I'm talking mostly here. I'm asking for your realizations, but I'm getting some realizations from seeing you. And one thing, seeing you, I mean, mostly people would lament, but I don't, seeing that your consciousness, I feel very happy to see you actually. I don't feel very sorry. maybe because you're, whatever physical pain is, or discomfort. Yeah, I'm feeling happy. But I suppose that's because you're internally very happy.
Yeah, I actually feel very much blessed. I can count my blessings because there's so much to say about my situation. Like, I get some mercy from devotees, very good support. You are here. Guru Maharaj gave me blessings and mercy. Then, like, what feedback I have gotten from sadhus like Maharajas and sannyasis, all have been very supportive and very encouraging. And I'm in Vrindavan, blessed to be there.
Yeah.
And so I don't see any need for complaints now. Because I have nowhere else to go. This is the best place to be at this point. And I have so much support, encouragement, and what else I need?
It's a wonderful opportunity to go back to Godhead. That many devotees have and up to date are complaining that they feel that they served the society and there wasn't proper reciprocation, and that has been there and is still going on. We can say that sometimes devotees do a lot of service and then they're just kind of neglected. There have been many cases of that. Many devotees, I suppose you could say justifiably feel upset. But I hope that your case can be one of a sign that the times are changing. Of course, looking after devotees doesn't only mean making facilities with buildings. There's a lot more, and buildings and doctors, there's a lot more to it than that. There's the spiritual helping devotees to rise above the bodily identification. So that's what's the word? The branch of medicine for the looking after dying people. Well, that's something we have. They have nothing. The non-devotees, they have no. They're helping dying people, and they try to give some emotional support and this and that. But actually, they can't really help them because they don't. The people who are the healthcare workers, they don't know what's coming, and they have nothing. If you don't believe in God, then how can you help others to overcome that the fear of death, or the fear of losing everything that they consider this is me, this is my reality, this body, like that. But for devotees, Prabhupada said, you must be aware of this quote. I remember still, I heard it. I remember when I heard it, I remember I was sitting in, I know the room I was sitting in, because it struck me. I was sitting in a room in the temple, and that was a rented house in Dhaka in Bangladesh, where I heard this, and the old tapes, old cassette tapes, I heard Prabhupada say that. For a devotee, death is like going to sleep, and when you wake up, you're with Krishna in the spiritual world. So, that's why we can be happy. Harsha Shok, these two words are used for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu after Haridas Thakur passed away. Mixed feelings of jubilation and lamentation. Very happy, you have this picture here. Very happy that he's gone to the spiritual world, and lamentation that we lost his association. So other things, there is like the history and this and that, we we can put it all together. Hopefully make some Bhakti-Godhead article or something. Yeah.
Something more. Maybe something more.
Say, well, I would encourage devotees who are still healthy to consider this point that it's only a passing thing, because eventually they also get same kind of situation as me. It's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
It can come fast or slowly, but eventually they will have to face same problems.
Yeah.
Body becomes old and diseased, and they have faced with proclivity of death.
Yeah.
So it would be better to start considering it before than after, and start like really seriously cultivate the understanding of what's spiritual and what's material, and where our desires lie, where we put our desires and how we want to cultivate life. That's something I would like to say to everyone.
Yeah. For Prabhupada, that's famous. Prabhupada said that he was lying on this bed here, just in his room, and surrounded by his disciples who were all at that time young men. When you think of Prabhupada disciples, you think of older men, but that time we were all young. He said, don't think this won't happen to you. Of course, we know it will happen to us, but that's Maya, that we don't think it will happen to us. Yet again today this question came up, should we speak strongly? We shouldn't speak so heavily. Yet again, this question comes up to me again and again, but I was saying it's not a matter of heavy or not heavy, it's is it the truth or isn't it the truth? So, you can say that it's very heavy to speak to people that you're all going to die, and heavy or not heavy, whatever, it's the truth, so that we should be aware of this.
It's very good to listen from him, because he now has his spiritual power to speak truth, and it was conversation between him and his persons from Puja. He speaks very nicely. Like, don't think you can live one day. I can live 1-2 months, but you can die tomorrow.
That's true, yeah.
Today.
That's true. I was told, Janananda Maharaj told me this, that a few years ago, Mahavishnu Goswami, he was in London and he had a stroke and he was in hospital. He was severely paralyzed. And he's old. He's older now, but it looked like, he was going to pass away. So Tamal Krishnaraj visited him and said that, he said to him that you keep a place for me there when you go. And Mahavishnu Maharaj said, well, we don't know who's going first. And actually Tamal Krishnaraj passed away and Mahavishnu Maharaj is still with us. So, that's very true. You might be here in 2 months and we might be gone in 2 seconds. You can't tell. But we're so foolish that we feel, that's Maya, that we feel that I'm strong, I'm healthy. Ahani ahani bhutani gachandeha yamalayam shesha sthavara icchanti kimascharya taparam. When Yamaraj in the form of the Yaksha asks his son Dharmaraj Yudhishthira, Dharmaputra Yudhishthira, what's the most amazing thing? So Yudhishthira Maharaj, he'd personally seen so many things and he'd heard so many things. Arjuna had been up to the heavenly planets and Bhima had met Hanuman and they'd met so many rishis, they'd heard stories from all over the universe. He must have heard so many amazing things and seen so many, but he immediately gave the reply that the most amazing thing is that daily so many beings are dying and going to Yamaraj, and who hasn't gone yet? They want to stay. They think I'll go on staying. So many of our godbrothers are passing away recently. I mean,
Every year.
no, several. And this year already several. There's several of my godbrothers this year. I mean, within the last year, they've passed away. Many of them are not very well known. I think Manasatita passed away, and then I didn't even know Shambhunath, he passed away. I didn't even know. I was speaking to him in Mayapur, and then about 2 months later, I got an email that like 2 days later, because I left on Gaur Purnima, and the day after he passed away. I had no idea. No one told me. I don't know how he passed away. He was quite healthy. He must have got a heart attack or something. I don't know. So many. Suhotra Maharaj, yeah. That was only, he was still quite young. He was only, 56 or something? Relatively young. So, but actually, they're helping us by telling that, yes, we all have to go soon. Now, at least I have some realization from so many godbrothers passing away that I don't have much time.
Last lecture, at least last year, many Maharajas, Swamis speak more like about Krishna and Leelas and about Prabhupada, like with heart. And it seems for us like, wow, we speak so because we just think death will come very soon or what, like Lokanath Swami speak like very from heart, like it seems he just
getting
like,
ready to go, yeah.
We are ready to go, and wow, what's happened? So many speaks about.
Well, Suhotra, I told this to so many people that Suhotra Maharaj's passing away really made me think, because the last time I spoke with him, we spoke, hours, several hours together. And one of the things I said, I was appreciating his last book, which was the Dimensions of Good and Evil. It's a really excellent book. I mean, it was. I was traveling overland from somewhere to Ukraine, and I read it going. I was going in a bus or something from somewhere in Europe to Ukraine. Anyway, I had plenty of time, so I read that. Or maybe it wasn't that time. Anyway, I can't remember exactly that. But I said to him that I really appreciated that book. I said, and he told me that the books I really want to write, I didn't write yet. And now he's passed away. So I thought that the main thing I want to do is write some books also. And the way I'm going, the speed I'm going at, it's not going to get done. So I have to change my life also. Travel less and write more. I thought about that so many times, but that really made me, I hope that made me serious. So it's all a service. That's what, so devotees are coming in, interviewing you, and because they feel there's something to learn from this. Can be shared with others also. It's one kind of preaching, actually.
Yeah. He was in ISKCON and preach and distribute books, and now he preach.
Yeah, that's one way of preaching also. Yeah. As I was suggesting, you could preach on the TV in Finland. It's very powerful if you say, look, I've got cancer, I'm going to pass away. This is what I have to say for people to...
Yeah,
you just have tendency to make everything negative. Not so friendly.
Anyway, there's not so much chance for that now. Finland is... You won't see Finland again.
Hopefully.
Your Finnish identity is finished.
Finished.
Bhaktivinoda Thakur, this famous song of entering the Dham. He sang. Remember at the Lithuania camp, they were asking about to speak on Dham, realizations about the Dham. I sung that song. Kabe Gaurabane Shuradhuni Totte. That's how to enter the Dham. By a mood of complete absorption and complete humility and giving up deha sukha chari, giving up the thought of enjoying this body. That's a very useful song. Is my shoulder bag here? No, alright. You have a song? You can give it, yeah. Generally I carry that with me wherever I go. It's a Bengali songbook. That's a complete course in Krishna consciousness. There are many more songs than in the English book. Otherwise it's in the computer. Kabe Gaura Bande Shivudhuni Torte Aradha Krishna Hare. Yeah. Well, I can read it, but it's easier to read it in English than in Hindi. The Bengali songs come out very funny in Hindi. You found it? Radha Krishna. Yeah, here it is. Kabe Gaurabane Shuradhuni Tote Haradhe Ha Krishna Bale. This song is called Siddhi Lalasa, and in Bhaktivinoda Thakur, it's one of several songs in which he's talking about enter. It's actually the whole song. It's one of the features of Bhaktivinoda Thakur's songs, which you'll find many times in his song. Not only in his songs, in many songs of Vaishnava Acharyas. It's how you start off in Mayapur, and then it's you're in Vrindavan. You're simultaneously in both. You'll find many times in Bhaktivinoda Thakur's song. Amito Swananda Shukoda Bashi. I'm a resident of Swananda Sugata Kund, which is in Navadvip Dham. Radhika Madhava Charanadasi. I'm a young girl serving Radhika Madhava. So both things are there side by side. So the whole song is about his desire, how he wants to live in Navadvip Dham. And then the last line, it comes to the same point again. Hoibo Radhar Dashi. So, anyway, this is what we are worshipping. Just like you were saying this, I Dina Dayadranata. We're not thinking that I'm going to say to Krishna like this, but we're worshipping Madhavendra Puri, that we can remember this, and simply by remembering their extraordinary level of Krishna consciousness, and we can pray to be lifted up to that level of service. And it's really a long, long way from considering I'm this body to go up to actually enter Vrindavan. It's right. This is the opportunity. So Kabe Gaurabane Shuradhuni Tote. When Gaurabane, there's Vrindavan and Gauraban, means Navadvip Dham. When in Navadvip Dham, on the bank of the Suradhuni, Ganga river. Ha Radhe, Ha Krishna bole, chanting the names, calling out, Ha Radhe, Ha Krishna, O Radha, Ha Krishna. Kandiya Berabo, crying and just wandering here and there, calling out. Deha Sukhachari, giving up the idea of not only giving up bodily comfort, but even giving up the idea that there can be bodily comfort. Deha Sukhachari. I mean, just these three words, Deha Sukhachari, seems like a very difficult thing to give up the idea of enjoying the body. But in this situation, that's really the mercy to get free. You can tell me, I'm telling you, I'm only theoretical. You have practical. Nana lota toru tole. At the base of various trees and creepers which make up the forest. Shapacha grihete magia kaibo. I will eat by begging from the houses of dog eaters. From the low class, which in Vedic culture that means to give up. In the caste conscious society, that means to give up all sense of false ego. We can't imagine. I mean, if these are the caste conscious people, they wouldn't even want to see. They're called untouchable, and asprisya is untouchable, and adrisya, you shouldn't even see such people. People consider they're contaminated. But he'll eat the food. It's just, you can't imagine what a kind of humility that is. So it means to give up all false ego. And Pibo Saraswati Jal, drink the water of the Saraswati river. Puline Gora Gori Dibbo, Kari Krishna Kolahal. Then in wandering on the banks of the river and rolling on the ground and calling out Krishna, Krishna, Krishna is what he's proposing to do. Then Dhamabashi Jane, Pranati Kariya, Magibo Kriparalesh. From all the residents of the Dham, I will offer respects to them and beg from them a drop of mercy. Vaishnava Charan Renu Gai Maki Dhari Abadhuta Besh. And taking the dust of their feet, I'll rub it on my body and wear the dress of an Avadhuta. Gora Brajajani Bhedna Dekibo. I won't see any distinction between the residents of Navadvip and those of Vrindavan. And in this way, now he comes to the point of this. Hoibo Baraj, in this way I'll be a resident of Vrindavan. So people say, I want to be a resident of Vrindavan. They come and they think, I live in a big palace in Vrindavan and have servants. But this is the way to be a Vrajavasi. This total humility. Then, Dhamera Sharup Shuribe Nayane. Then I will see the actual form of the Dham. It's not just a matter of coming and you think, I'll live here and I'll have, nice TV and nice arrangement. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Deha Shuka Chari. I do all these things, then we can actually see what is in Dham. Then Hoibo Radhar Dasi. So it's not such an easy thing. We talk about going and living in Vrindavan. It's not just you can buy a train ticket from Bombay to Mathura and then you can get a taxi to Vrindavan, but it's not it's not such an easy thing like going from one place. You can buy a ticket and you can fly from Bombay to Delhi or something. It's not such an easy thing. There's this Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also said that some people came to see Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, and they came to see him, and he said they came from Calcutta, and in Navadvip Dham. And then he said, all right, very good, so we'll do kirtan all night tonight. He said, no, we can't stay, we bought a return ticket. And he was astonished. He said, you bought it? You came to the Dham and you bought a return ticket? You're already planning to leave? He was astonished. He said, no, you see, we have our office tomorrow. We have to go to work. He said, how could you come to the Dham with a return ticket? So he often, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say that, don't buy a return ticket. So, you came here, I don't think you had a return ticket. There's no return ticket. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that wonderful? There's no way, you've come and there's no way to go back. It's really Krishna's mercy. Now you have no choice. There's nowhere to go. I can think, I can go here and there. That will be there, that will be nice for me, and this situation will be good, and you can make so many plans, but for you, there's no plans. You can't make any plans. That's why the non-devotees are so disturbed, because they in this situation they can't make any plan. They can't even imagine. As long as the body you have this illusion of the body being healthy and you can move here and there, you can make plans. You may not do it, but at least you can imagine that, I'll invest some money and make so much more money, and I'll have a big house and servants and you can make plans, and at least you can dream of having sense gratification. But in this situation you can't fool yourself. A 60-year-old woman can put toenail polish on her and make her toenails look nice, and she can try and make her body look nice and try and pretend, but in this situation there's no more pretending. Face to face with reality. For the non-devotees it's horrific, but for the devotees
as we can see from
it's
his
very nice.
Beautiful eyes and the realization about this. He spoke today just for TV what he expects is going worse day by day. So he is ready for it.
Yeah. This materialistic, agnostic, atheistic culture, it's very bad. I mean, even people who believe in God, even if they don't know Krishna, but they may be a Christian or a Muslim or whatever, then that helps them. They may not be afraid. They just feel I'm in God's hand.
Okay, a bit tired, but...
Tired, yeah. This is around the time when you start to get tired. Huh?
Yeah.
I remember seeing my grandmother. I was just a young child. I must have been about 10 years old or something. She was dying of cancer. And she said, I was there with my father, her son. She said, I'm not afraid and I'm not sad. I've lived a good life. So, you've got so much better facility than her. Yes, she felt that. I've lived a good life. Of course, she didn't have knowledge of regulated principles or anything like that, but she, like everyone of her generation pretty much, she believed in God and she looked after her family.
When I first came here 2 weeks ago, it just was completely first day realization when I go back, if it's happened, so I must do service every day as much as possible, because time is short. I must serve hours, and it's realizations from Caitanyananda Prabhu. So I'm very thankful for this.
Krishna has his plan for everyone. Yeah, you want to, I'm getting all my realizations are coming out. I was going to sit and ask you for your realizations, but instead, the inspiration I'm getting from you is there. So you say?
You must take, no?
Oh, the medicine. I might have to. Yeah.
What's that?
I have this problem with digestion that if I have too much water, I have to vomit it out. And I think I have.
It's coming now.
Now or soon.
Alright, then tomorrow we'll watch the Prabhupada video. We're waiting for that. Then tomorrow we'll do that. I'll go now then. You can do whatever's required. Where's Dr. Avinish?
He come at 7:30.
Yeah, Ravi should come here at 7.